Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Shantae from Simply Shantae's Plans. Right here I have 4 planners that have been in my rotation most consistently over the past few years. I do have 2 new planners that I am playing with and trying out, one being the Moxie Life Planner and another being a Plum Planner. What we will be discussing, the Woman of the Hour, is my EC Monthly Life Planner. I know a lot of people use this planner for many different things. Some use it for budgeting, some use it for meal planning, some use it for content planning. Personally, I like to use it for health and wellness. So this is my 2nd year using a monthly planner in this way. I have tracked health and wellness inconsistently before that in different types of books and different types of journals. Let's open it up. I'm going to go through all the pages that I have and how I use them. 2 quick disclaimers. One is that this planner is not meant to be pretty. I spend a lot of time, lining up stickers and making sure my handwriting is perfect in other planners, but I don't do that in this one. And the other disclaimer is that at least the next 2 pages that I'm going to show, I got a lot of inspiration from the planner community. And I tried to look for the original posters, but I couldn't find them. So thank you to everyone who posted it, shared it, somehow, so the algorithm found it and put it on my screen. I appreciate that. First page of the planner is the year at a glance view. I use this page for my mood tracker. So up at the top over here, I created a legend with 9 different moods that I feel most consistently. I have done mood trackers in several other iterations, but I really liked how it was all on these 2 pages here, very easy to find. I made a bookmark using a compliment card and a coil clip, so it's even easier to find. I typically only put 1 sticker on a day, and if there is a lot of things happening or I'm feeling moody, I usually denote that with a little dot or a star right next to the date. These little transparent stickers are from Planner Kate. I also have the circles, but I use circles for so many things. I thought it would be fun this year to just switch it up and try squares. I also put a sticker down here from an EC sticker book. I honestly just didn't like what I wrote underneath it and couldn't find my whiteout, so that's why I put that there. The next page, I'm sure you've seen many times. This is what I'm calling my body transformation tracker. I put a post-it note over July because I already wrote some things in there that I wasn't quite ready for everyone to see. But I can show you the other months. I did not write the months on each box, honestly, because we know the colors. They're pretty ingrained in my mind, and I will be able to tell which month it is. And if not, I'll just look at the monthly tabs and it will tell me. I did put the year, however, because this book is a July through June book, so it will go across 2 years, and I just wanted to make sure that my confused brain always knows what year it is. These measurements and scale stickers are from Planner Kate. These washi strips that I used are from 3 different EC monthly sticker books. I have seen people putting 3 or 4 scales per month, and I thought about doing that, but then realized that if I weigh myself more than twice per month, for me it gets a little bit destructive, so that's why I'm only using 2. I'm hoping that I can look back on this page and see like numbers shrink or stay the same. I don't actually have like a real body transformation goal right now. It is nice for me to track. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna skip to September because I have already written some things in July and August that I don't quite want to share. But I set my months up exactly the same, and I do it ahead of time, so there's no excuses when it comes down to it. Alright, so now we're at the monthly pages. On the left side, I have drawn squares 1 through 31 for each day of the month, and this is where I meal plan. I typically plan 2 weeks at a time with my partner. That's also how we grocery shop. We grocery shop at 2 weeks at a time. It changes from time to time, and I'll show you how I denote that coming up. But because it is the pre-planning type work, I put it before the monthly tab so I don't get confused, and everything after this monthly tab is what actually happened in the month. That brings us to the monthly overview page. I usually call this my data page. The first thing I did was I drew in these faint lines so that there was enough spaces for all of the things I want to track on every single day. I also whited out the holidays. I don't need them for this book. And I drew a key for my move ring, exercise ring, and stand ring on my Apple Watch. Also how many steps I take and how many total calories I burn for the day. I will go in and write progress on each of these rings. So for example, if my goal was 770, I would write 772 out of 770 and then do that for the rest of these spaces. I did color code so that way if I didn't meet the goal, I do color it with that color so it pops out at me. I'm pretty competitive and love to beat myself, so it's a good way to set my mindset for the next day. Also, again, if I'm going back to track patterns, it's really helpful for me to see what color's popping up the most. Also in the key, I put my goal here, so that's how I know if I should color it in or not. If the next page would be the dashboard page, but I actually glued that together. I don't need it for this planner. So that brings us to the first set of notes pages. On the left, I have a water intake chart and a workouts chart. I just go through and I write my workouts. You can see down the middle, I've written 1 through 30 days in September. Then the water intake, I've written ounces across the top. And then I just fill in about how many ounces of water I drank for that day. And then on this little section right here, I write how many it actually was. So let's say on September 1st, I drank 70 ounces of water. I'm going to color in all the way to here with a colored pencil. And then I'm going to write 70 ounces of water. And that's how I track it. On the other side is my food diary. So this is different than my meal plan, which you saw before the monthly overview page. This is what I actually ate, and it includes everything. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, beverages that aren't water. I put all of that in here for each day. After that, I have a few more trackers on. I'm going to flip this over so you can see this one a little bit better. On this page, I have a section I like to call General Health. I have 4 different things I track here, and I just drew mini monthly calendars with a stencil. The first one is face mask. This is for my skincare. I do have a skincare regimen that requires a face mask every 2 to 3 days. Also migraines. I do have migraines frequently, and if you also have migraines, you'll know that the first thing the doctors asks you is how many migraines per month do you have. So I also track that in here. If it's a headache and not a migraine, I usually just write it in my notes and other symptoms section at the bottom. I also check my period. This last space is for something that I choose not to share publicly, but I will fill this back in later. I briefly alluded to this section. It's just notes and other symptoms. For example, I had a headache last week and I put headache on this day and this day, and I also took my temperature a few days and I put that in here. So just any other things that are going on health-wise I put in here, and it's kind of like a brain dump area. This is a tracker for triggers. I do have an anxiety disorder, and this little flag I put the date, and this purple square I put the time or the time that I noticed, and these boxes I list either things that happened that day or other potential reasons why I might feel a little bit escalated. And then down here in these very ugly boxes are symptoms that I feel as a result of being triggered. And then I do go back and highlight, and you can see my little key up here, highlight the ones that I would expect. I have an extra section which I'll show you later for more if I have more than 6 per month. Next, I have habit trackers for each week of the month. I do them the same way. I'm pretty sure Child's Plan does them this way. I also saw them on Pinterest. I really like how it looks. I love using my mouth liners, and it's just nice for me. It makes it more fun for me to track things. So I usually track about 7 things, but sometimes it varies. I usually have things AM routine, PM routine, soda, and other things include journaling or reading. I don't necessarily have goals for journaling and reading, but those are things that I really like to enjoy. I like to see if I'm doing it frequently and kind of match that with my mood tracker. I love looking for patterns and things, so that's why I track those things here. So you can just see that I have a couple more. And then we get to October. So I still have to set up October. It will happen before school starts in 2 weeks. With the new relaunch, you are able to add pages in the back, and so I'm going to show you. I chose to add 40 dot grid pages in the back of my book, and I labeled each section with washi tape. I think it was Laura do this, and it just really made a lot of sense to me, so I also did it. This first section is kind of random. It has the body measurements on here, so if I ever forget, it's just right in the back. I also have a period tracker for the whole year. I do take this book with me to therapy and to doctor's appointments, so sometimes it's a little bit tricky to look through each month to see when my period was, and it's just really nice to have it right here. I usually just highlight the days that I have it, and then the whole monthly view at a glance is right here. Then I have a few extra pages. I was going to put my AM and PM routines here, but decided against it for right now because those do change as the time of the year changes. For example, right now I'm not waking up at 5:30 in the morning, but when school happens, and when school happens in person, not distance learning, I do. So my times change, what I do changes, and so I just wasn't ready to put that in here, but I did leave a note for myself. Back here, the section is for extra trigger trackers. I'm not going to show you. It's the same thing that was on the other page that I showed, but there's a little bit more room, and if I need to jot something down. The section after that, and like I said, you guys, this planner is not pretty, but this is the doctor appointment notes. So I do take this with me, like I said, to the doctor, and I really have to write everything down. I feel overwhelmed oftentimes when I'm at the doctor, and if I don't write things down, I probably won't remember. The last section is therapy notes. So the back of the book with the pocket, I keep some stencils in here, some stickers, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video about my health and wellness planner. If you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. Next time, I'm going to be going over my teacher lesson planner and some of the accessories that I love using. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.